a record. A record. A record.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now this week, or the past week or so, what was major going on in the news was the whole Whoopi Goldberg thing, where she was proving how she was a super feminist, racist person. The whole Holocaust thing. Of course, it's settled down now a little bit, but I guarantee you after 2 weeks suspension and she comes back, it'll start all up again. Everybody will be talking about it again. The other thing that I saw that everybody was talking about, well, actually they're still going on. They just keep going on and on about Joe Rogan. And I don't know why. The guy sucks, so I don't know why they just keep talking about Joe Rogan. I don't care for Joe Rogan. As far as I'm concerned, he's a piece of crap. I never have liked the dude. He flip-flops on everything. And again, he's showing that's exactly what he does, is that he flip-flops. But whatever. I don't listen to his stupid podcast. I just don't care, but apparently they can't shut up about Joe Rogan, and I don't know why. He's not for anybody. He's just for himself. So it's kind of stupid. It's lame. Anyways, I saw that they remade the television show 4400. Now, I never watched the original show back in 2000. I could care less. It had something to do with, 4,400 people are dropped off in the middle of the night. They've come back to Earth. Apparently they've been missing for years. And then one night they just suddenly appear. All 4,400 of these people. Now, apparently it had to do with something to do with aliens and crap, but like I said, I never watched the show. I didn't care. It's major drama. Had very little to do with sci-fi, and mostly dealt with the families and how they dealt with everybody coming back after all them years. Now, apparently they have gone and redone this show. Here's the difference. The new show is done by CW, which right there it's going to be woke as fuck. And guess what? It is. It's woke as fuck. Apparently everybody in the cast is now brown or dark skinned. They have to have their Asian couple, and they have to have their alphabet couple. Their diversity, which literally is the new word for Hollywood, that they think allows them to be racist. Basically, their diversity is racism. That's literally what that word means to Hollywood. So, another racist show. Very woke. Anyways, I saw a ton of reviews on the new 4400 show, read reviews, written reviews, and I mean a lot of them, and they all hate the show. Apparently it sucks, which doesn't surprise me. It's CW. But how much you want to bet they go ahead and do another season of it? We'll see. Okay. Moving on. Last thing I want to talk to you about is the Sci-Fi show that was literally rated the best sci-fi show of all time. That was underrated. In other words, it only got like one season. It didn't get to prove itself. It was done in 1996. The show won 2 Emmys and even a Saturn Award. And the show is called Space Above and Beyond. Now, I happen to agree this show was super underrated. They literally had 5 seasons planned for this show. They only gave 1 season because they apparently, the budget ran low. They couldn't keep up with all the CGI because they had a lot of CGI going on. Now, I like the show Babylon 5, but the CGI in it is really cheesy, and it was done about the same time. This show, though, I don't know, it was still a little cheesy, but it looked pretty good for what it was back then. They did a pretty good job with the CGI. Apparently they ran out of money to keep doing that, so they had to end the show, and they left it on a huge cliffhanger, which sucked because nothing got resolved. Now, there have been talks about bringing this show back. It has gained a huge cult following, and like I said, it has been rated the #1 underrated sci-fi show of all time. So hopefully they do bring it back and they finish the series. I mean, it starred James Morrison, which is an excellent actor, and Tucker Smallwood, he's fairly well known too. They both are good actors. Even the newbies, all the new actors in the show at the time, they were all decent. They weren't perfect, but they were decent. It made the show decent enough. Now, basically, the show is about an alien invasion, pretty much. Earth has finally made it among the stars, and they decide to colonize a certain planet. But apparently, this planet had already had a colony on it. It just wasn't humans. There was a big fight, and they killed all the humans. This alien race did. Well, come to find out, there is a organization that deals with a lot of space technology, and they're the ones who caused the war, who started the war between the alien race, because they knew about the aliens long before most people on Earth did. But they went ahead and tried to colonize the aliens' territory anyway. So that's, instead of negotiating with them, they just decided they were going to take it. Sound familiar? Anyways, you basically follow along this squadron of space marines they call themselves the Wild Cards. There's like 5 of them, plus their commanding officers, played by James Morrison and Tucker Smallwood. The show's great. It's excellent. I highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up. You're not going to find a better sci-fi, space war type show. I was disappointed that they only did 1 season as well, but that's the way it rolls. When the network don't want to help you pay for budget for CGI, so That's what happens. CGI is expensive. Anyways, if they do redo this show, it better not be on the CW because I'll flip. They've got the worst of the worst writers, and it's usually all their shows are woke. But hopefully someone does pick it up and start it back up again. Okay, that's all I got for you on that. Now let's move on to your B movie reviews. Okay, Movieholics, this week is Fantasy Week. Now I've got two older movies to talk to you about. The first one, just about everybody knows it. I mean, it's a cult classic, probably one of the best fantasy movies of all time. I like Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong. They're excellent fantasy movies, but they come in second to this one, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. And the movie is called Willow. Now, it was written by George Lucas, and Ron Howard directed the movie. It starred Val Kilmer, Warwick Davis. Everybody knows who Warwick Davis is now. And Joanne Whalley. She played the redhead in the movie. Anyways, the movie was done in 1988, and it made about 57 million worldwide. I don't. It did fairly well. Basically, the story is there is an evil queen. She's a sorcerer. She's going around conquering all the lands. She hears of a prophecy about a baby that's supposed to be born that's supposed to kill her and take her throne. The baby's born. She finds out about it. She sends people to go kill it, including her daughter, which is the redhead, played by Joanne Whalley. Anyways, they're trying to track this baby. Willow's character ends up kind of his family finds the baby and then hands her to him. The baby's name is Laura Dannon. She's supposed to be a princess, and she's the baby of the prophecy. Now, along the journey, Willow kind of becomes the baby's protector. At the same time, he wants to be a sorcerer, so he kind of half-ass learns on the journey how to be a sorcerer. Of course, you have other sorcerers involved, and yada yada yada. Val Kilmer ends up helping him, and then eventually Joanne Whalley, the redhead who's the daughter of the evil queen, she turns on her and falls in love with Val Kilmer's character, and they help destroy the evil queen and save a Lower Dan. Willow goes back home as a sorcerer, and everyone feels he's a hero in his village. And of course, the Lower Dana stays with Val Kilmer and Joanne Whalley. They become her parents. Classic fantasy type movie. Really good actors. Excellent, excellent. 2 thumbs up. If you've never seen this, which I don't see how, just about everybody has, because it's literally the best fantasy movie of all time. I suggest you watch it, because I could watch it over and over and over. It's that good. Definitely highly recommend it. Now we're moving on to another movie that's not so well known. Some people have heard of the comic strip. There was a comic strip out, like in the papers, for years and years. The movie is called Prince Valiant. Now, it was done in 1997 and only made about 3 million worldwide, because not a lot of people knew about it. It stars Stephen Meyer, Katherine Heigl, Ron Perlman, and Warwick Davis is in this one too. Those 2 are very well-known actors. Anyways, they're in this as well. Prince Valiant is basically based off a comic strip that runs in the paper. It has been ran in the paper for years and years. Anyways, basically he is the heir to the Thule throne, which is like the Viking homeland. But he didn't know. For the longest time, he didn't know. He basically lived in like England or London or whatever, or the United Kingdom. Well, it wasn't Britain. He lived in Britain. He eventually becomes part of the Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur's court, and all that jazz. Now, in this particular movie, the story they went with was the evil queen Mordred, Arthur's sister. She's pretty much kind of half-ass runs Thule by manipulating the king. The king's brother wants to rule. She tells him that if he goes digs up Merlin's grave, that it will have a book or secrets that will tell her how to make Thule conquer Britain and King Arthur. She reads that they need the sword Excalibur, that they could steal the sword, so they do. But the younger brother ends up killing the older brother and taking his place as king. Prince Valiant basically is the squire for Sir Gawain, Uh, Sir Gawain gets knocked out, and he has to like take his place. So he hides underneath the armor. King Arthur knows it, but he says he has no one else because he sends the knights after, more the Vikings or whatever. There's a big battle going on. He sends them all to that. So he asks Prince Valiant to take this princess back home, which is near Thule. So he does to do that. He goes to do that, and then she gets kidnapped. So he ends up going after her to Thule to bring her back. While he's there, he finds Excalibur and Sir Gawain, who also gets killed. The Welsh princess was actually engaged to another knight, but he ends up getting killed. He was a prince, but he ends up getting killed. And then Prince Valiant finds out that he's actually a prince and he's the actual heir to Thule and not this other guy who claims it, the younger brother. So he ends up going, and him and the rest of his clan was like, follows the red horse or whatever, a stallion or whatever. So his clan helps him defeat the castle and take it back and take his rightful place as king again, or just his rightful place as being king of Thule. He then he gets the sword back and he takes it back to King Arthur, and then he asks for the Welsh princess's hand in marriage, and that's pretty much the whole story. Now, it wasn't a terrible movie. It was alright. It wasn't the greatest, but it was okay. It had some decent actors in it. If you're looking for a decent fantasy film to watch, I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It's alright. It's not horrible and it's not bad. It's better than a lot of them I've actually seen, fantasy movies, as far as, B-rated. Like I said, it was a little bit higher than like the Deathstalker series or something like that. Because it had decent actors in it and everything. It was alright. Wasn't bad. Check it out if you're looking for a decent fantasy movie to watch. Anyways, that is all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your comments, or you leave your thoughts down in the comments section down below. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you know of any underrated movies or films, B-rated, that you think I may never have heard of or seen, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So, until next time, I told you be told the truth, and you just been told.